It is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot. And today we're going to look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment, and if we want to see change, we do need to shift and change the energy within. That's the only way that we will finally start to see our manifestations come through in the physical. And I hope that my readings give you the insight that you need each week to be able to shift your energy and have a better experience of the world. Not a perfect one, but a better one. Oh, I almost forgot my power ring. Tyrion Lannister ring. You should definitely be wearing a Tyrion Lannister ring when you are doing a money reading, because today is the career and finance reading. I picked a spread from Emerald Dots, or let's see what it's called. Emerald Lotus. Emerald dot usdivination.com .usdivination.com is where I found it, but it's called the Tarot Spread for Attracting Abundance. I've already pulled the cards for it. I have masculine and feminine energy. I added my own overall energy like I do top and bottom of the deck, and then I have two oracles, and that's what we're going to be doing today. My financial reading, I like to do the entire thing for everybody, because this is the reading usually that people with financial issues are watching, and because of that I don't do an extended for this reading. I just keep it completely free. However, yesterday I did do a junk food reading, and I did an extended reading for members, and it was really, really good. So if you liked the first half of that junk food reading yesterday, I highly recommend going and checking that out. To become a member, you click the link in my profile, scroll down to Pearl's Prayers, and you can see all the different levels of membership starting at $1. And very quickly about that, for members, last night I also hosted at 9:30 p.m. a live stream. I have not been doing live streams on TikTok and YouTube, and I don't plan to for now. I might in the future, but I don't have plans right now. Instead, I'm preferring to do these Zoom sessions because I can actually talk to you. I think it's like more of a community feeling than just the messages that are scrolling by quickly on the screen, etc. Also keeps it private. So I'm going to continue doing that on Wednesday nights. Always free for members for now. And tickets are only $5 for non-members. So if you're interested in just checking it out and seeing if you would like it, please consider coming next week. I will have the registration up hopefully by the time this video posts. If not, it'll definitely be there by tomorrow. So go check there if you are interested in that. And somebody who came last night, there wasn't many people because I just launched it last week. So I had a few members, but I had only one person who registered for the event, and they're pretty lucky because they got like a 30-minute reading because there wasn't a lot of people there. So, you know, it's only supposed to be a few cards, but if there's not a lot of people there, I mean, I will just do your reading for you as if you had a full-length session with me. So it's kind of cool. Come check that out next week. All right, so let's get started. We're going to do the overall energy of career and finance, just overall, without looking at the different positions of the spread for the next week ahead. We have the Empress card, which is a sitting pretty card. This is coming from the masculine head space, and then from the heart space, the feminine energy, creativity, emotion, and flow, we have the Fool card. So something new that's very promising and very prosperous is coming through here for me. I'm seeing some people throwing caution to the wind and taking the leap into just owning their own business. And it's a little scary, but there's this feeling of being fully supported here that I think is new to some of you who are about to do this. For others, a lot of the things you've already done, the seeds you've already planted, are really blooming this week. And maybe there's new things that you get to do now because some of the things you've already done. For instance, someone pointed out to me recently, I was saying how frustrating it is that I've done so much content. I have over 600 videos on YouTube. I mean, honestly, probably thousands of readings on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok over the last 4 years. And after the TikTok heyday where they had organic reach and you didn't have to pay to get views or have a TikTok shop thing, which honestly I just signed up for because I'm like, maybe this will help. I don't know what else is going to help. But um back at that point in time, like I was making a lot of content, was getting seen, and then it sort of leveled off, and now I have all this content. My friend was like, what you don't realize is that like once you release something, for instance my EP that I'm about to release in the fall, or once you're discovered, once people start to see you for something that you've done, like one of the things that you've done, your super fans always go back to everything you've created and find value there. And the more that you have, the more wealth of content that you've created, the more value that you have for those people who are coming. Like maybe the first viral video or something, they come through that and then they're like, wow, there's all of this here that I can partake in. And it's just a good reminder that sometimes when we do creative work, we work on this oeuvre of our paintings, writings, drawings, music, tarot videos, whatever it is, recipes. It can feel like it's going unappreciated. It can feel like it doesn't have value, but it does. It holds its value. And as long as you sit there in your Empress energy, people will come to you and they will want to experience it. So that's the overall energy of career and finance. I think some of you are heading into new places, new realms. Some of you are really enjoying the prosperity and abundance you've already created. There's, for me, a feminine Empress energy is like creativity itself. So your creativity is generating a lot of abundance or has the potential. Some of you might have a little feeling of being foolish to focus on creative endeavors instead of pragmatic ones. To that, I just want you to know that the more you feel fulfilled by what you're doing, the more abundance flows to you. And I can add to that the more that you feel fulfilled by what you're doing, if you don't see abundance flow to you, you still feel infinitely better than when you're working a job that is, draining you and not really even providing you all that much abundance, and you're stressed all the time. Like, I would rather be broke and feel the way I feel right now than have like just enough and be completely drained to the point of no return, which would happen for me a lot as a masking autistic person for many years. All right, so the other thing I wanted to look at was the bottom of the deck. Something surprising, something unseen, 1111 when I'm saying this. We've got the Ace of Swords here, and we have the Four of Cups. So I really feel an offer that you're maybe not expecting. Or you get a lot of clarity about which opportunities really are best suited to you. And you kind of turn your nose up at the ones that are not in flow with you, that do not really bring you a lot of joy. You're clinging to this fertile energy of creativity that we're seeing coming from the Empress. So I have this sense that like you see clearly. Maybe you'll be surprised that when you actually do choose to focus on that Ace of Cups, like what really is feeling good to you, pouring into your cup, that it generates other offers that you weren't really expecting. If you want to look at this in terms of like your person, and you want to look at like, okay, what's the masculine energy doing or the feminine energy doing or whatever, I actually see the masculine energy focused on creativity and enjoying his wealth, and maybe feeling a little bit foolish for having spent all of his time kind of focused on that and wanting to sort of speak or communicate now with that Ace of Swords to the divine feminine energy. How, while it's nice that he's kind of sitting there in all of this abundance at this point, he really missed out on having a connection with you. So that's a message coming through. Okay, let's look at the first question, which is my current relationship with allowing abundance. What is your current relationship? No shit. We have the Queen of Swords coming out here for the masculine energy, and then for the feminine energy, the Three of Swords. Oh, okay. So the mind sees far into the future, and sees a way to like strategize and plan, but the heart feels like the strategies and plans don't pan out. And so it's kind of a painful energy that is coming through here. Um, you can see how there are all these paths that abundance could come to you, but you feel that there's always something that gets in the way, or that maybe you make decisions or fail to make decisions or fail to follow through in some way. I do see like a harsh critical judgment towards the self about your relationship with money. You're like, I make bad decisions, I make poor decisions, I don't know, I'm not good with money, I don't know how to manage money, I'm not careful with it. There's all those kinds of fears coming up. If you were looking, this is like your relationship with allowing abundance. If we were looking this as a relationship reading, I would say, wow, your person feels like you're going to be pretty angry with them because they've hurt you, right? So you've got this sense that like money is angry with you because you've like you've well, you've hurt yourself with money. It's an interesting parallel. So that's what your current relationship with allowing it is. You look into the future and you can see it, but you feel like you're just going to be hurt or disappointed in the end, or that there's some wound or something that's blocking you from getting the abundance that you deserve. So how do you get yourself into alignment? This is the next question. How do you get yourself into alignment? Oh, very interesting. Four of Pentacles, they're in reverse. From the Tarot of Mystical Moments, by the way, and this is the Ostara Tarot, and we have another reversal also, which is odd. The Six of Pentacles in reverse. So two cards, both Pentacles in reverse. So turning around something, turning around your mindset about finances and financial stability, and then for your heart, feeling like you don't get a return on your investment, like feeling like if you invest money, it doesn't come back to you. If you invest time, energy, you don't see abundance come to you. So you have to change your mindset about this. So there's this thing that happens to me personally where I get a little bit of money, I have some bills that are coming up. On the one hand, I think I need to save this money for the bill that's coming up. But honestly, the amount of money that I make through these tarot readings I used to make almost 3 times what I make now. And what I make now is barely enough to pay any of my bills. So I'm constantly at a deficit. And I have to make decisions every month. Like, do I pay my insurance? Do I pay part of my car? Do I pay this? Do I do that? And there's not a way for me to manage my money efficiently because there's not enough income. And the bills are higher than my income. So my decision making surrounding money is often like really confusing because I know that I need to have a money mindset. I have to believe it's going to come. I have to allow myself to receive. So if I get into this place where I think like, well, you know, I would like to be able to buy my son a birthday gift or a graduation present. But if I buy this for him, I will not have enough for my car. And then I think, well, so my mindset right there is bad because what I should say is there's going to be enough. I can buy this for him and there's still going to be enough. I like approach spending with a lack mindset. So then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to believe that there's going to be enough and I'm going to spend right now whatever I want because I know that there will be more. But because I truly don't believe it, because I truly don't feel it, because I feel like that I've been hurt countless times and that it's just going to keep happening, then when I go and spend that money, I do it with resistance. Even if my mind is trying to push the resistance away, because I haven't really changed the alignment within me, it is resistant. And so I spend the money and then I reinforce my mindset that I don't have money. And this happens over and over and over and over again. So, and I hope this reading gives me some insight about how to manage this, because this is saying to get yourself in alignment, you have to be in a headspace where you don't feel like you don't have enough stability to spend, and you don't feel that when you work hard and spend time and energy, it's not returned to you. These two things are keeping you stuck right now, so we have to change this. Okay, so the next question is an energy I need to integrate to have an enlightened perspective on abundance. So how can we help this? We've got here the King of Pentacles. Wow, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, and then we also have the Queen of Swords again, and the Three of Pentacles, which is awesome. Okay, this is all good energy. And we now have, what's interesting, union, because we have the headspace that sees into the future and has a strategy and has a plan, and now we have it matching in the heart space. But obviously when it was in the headspace, it was actually being kind of critical or judgmental, because it felt like like your plans didn't work or something like that in the past. But this is the energy that you need to integrate to have an enlightened perspective on abundance. Number one, you have to know your worth and value with the King of Pentacles. You have to feel like you can stand on your own, with or without money. Like, money should not affect whether or not you feel worth. You're worth more than all the money in the world. That's your affirmation for this week. I'm worth more than all the money in the world. Aren't you? Isn't a life worth more than all the money in the world? Like, if somebody was like, hey, you can have $10 million, or you can have your person in your life, most people are going to choose the life over the money, because most people value people more than money. Now, there's people that are very wounded and unhealed in our culture that do value money more than people. But as you know, money doesn't go with you when you pass. Your energetic connections that you had in your life remain attached to you throughout time. In our belief system, those people probably don't believe that, but we do. So, money's just here in the physical, but the connections that you make with people in life, those are infinite. Those bonds are infinite. So, and I just know personally that I would value a person's life more than I would value money for that person's life. So you can tell yourself, if you believe that you are worth more than all the money in the world. And just keep repeating that to yourself. And that also works for relationships and connections too. Because if you have a situation where your person has been very focused on the material, very focused on making money, wanting money, wanting a reputation, all this stuff. When you're saying to yourself, I'm worth more than all the money in the world, I'm worth more than all the money in the world, I'm worth more than all the money in the world, then the people that you attract, what do they think? What do they reflect back to you? But you're worth more than all the money in the world. My relationship with you is worth it, is worth more than constantly worrying and fussing and trying to create material wealth. So it's going to help you in relationships and connections too. So you have to believe that you're worth more than all the money in the world. You're literally on top. You're above it. The other thing that you need to feel is that you don't have to do this alone. This Queen of Swords, one of her toxic traits is that she is hyper independent. And hyper independence does not increase your money, your value, your the money that you're accruing. It doesn't. Name one billionaire who has no one working with them. I don't know anyone like that hasn't just inherited the wealth. But any billionaire who has a business, do they do it by themselves? It's only them? They're the only one doing it? No, they're not. There's all of the people that they're exploiting who are making all of that billions of dollars for them. But you're not creating wealth in a vacuum, and you are not meant to. You're meant to take your clever mind and your strategy and bring it to a collaborative situation. So you're not meant to do this alone. You are meant to have help. And I think also getting some help from a financial advisor is coming through for me here. And maybe a spiritual one as well. If you are having some wounds, some old wounds come up, subconscious things, and you need help exploring those, book a session with me, or check out all of my readings that are free. If you're really having financial issues and you can't afford a session, check out all of my free readings here on TuneIn YouTube. There's been a few career and money ones I've done specifically over the last couple of months that you can check out. And in general, look at all of the free resources that are available for now, and really, really consider getting some outside advice about your career or financial situation. So that's something that is going to help you to change your perspective on abundance. So what are the current blessings you should be grateful for? Whenever you're having trouble with receiving abundance, gratitude is one of the best ways to get into the energy of receiving. We're getting the 10 of Wands and the 6 of Cups. So the 10 of Wands is about being able to put down a burden, not having to carry a burden, being able to share the burden of something, and just being done with being exhausted and fatigued in regards to something too. Just like finally putting stuff down and like being able to like rest. And then we have here the 6 of Cups. Now, what is really interesting is this says current blessing you should be grateful for, but I'm getting a sense that this is a card about the past, childhood, innocence, whatever. And I'm getting a sense that if you are already grateful for the help that you're receiving with your career and finances before you've received it, it will come. That's something that I'm hearing from this position. But then also what I'm seeing is being grateful that you don't have to carry the burdens of your ancestry or your past mindset with you. You can be grateful that you don't have to, I'm so thankful that I don't have to live the life that my ancestors lived, that I don't have to live the life that my parents like think is real, you know, that their fears and their anxieties, those aren't mine. Their mindset, their beliefs. Being grateful for being able to shed those beliefs is something I think that will help you this week. And then also just the things from your youth, that your dreams, the things that you wanted, being grateful for believing, I guess, that you could have abundance and prosperity, because some people never believe that. And unless you believe that, it's really difficult to create that. So even though it's been a burden to you that your like 6-year-old self wanted to be a rock star and have a lot of wealth and a mansion, you dreamed big, and those big dreams have brought a lifestyle to you that, if you really were honest with yourself, is better than a lot of people's lifestyles. And the reason I know that is because you're watching this on some kind of a device, a phone, a laptop. There's something that you're using that is probably expensive to watch this video, and you had access to it, and that's a blessing. So all your blessings, have gratitude right now. The final position is, what should I be investing my energy into to attract abundance? And I did a cool thing here. I pulled 2 self-care cards, one for masculine energy, one for feminine energy, and I included it here. And my intention is that if you do this self-care activity, it will be investing energy into attracting abundance. So the first card that's coming up for masculine energy, the 8 of Cups, which is a card about walking away from things that are not good for us, that don't feel good, that are toxic, that are disappointing, and heading towards our higher calling. So if you're working a job, if you're putting time and energy into something that is just really not fulfilling, quiet quit that job. I'm commanding you to quiet quit right now. Just take, if you put 100% of your energy into work, I want you to put 10% of your energy into work. I'm serious. Do 10%. 100% you're a giver, and you probably give way more. Especially with the 6 of Pentacles coming up in reverse. You already give way too much. You go above and beyond. You write the follow-up emails. You do all the things. You cross all the T's. You dot all the I's. And you do that for nothing. For pennies on the dollar. Stop doing that. I want you to take the amount of time and energy you're giving, and I want you to put 10% into it right now. If it's not your higher calling, if it's not something that you would do for free because it's fun, like, I read cards till I'm blue in the face because it's fun. Do I wish that I had more abundance to support me while I was doing it? Yes. Will I stop doing cards so that I can go take another job to get abundance so that I can do cards again? Fuck no. We'll never do that again. Nope, not doing it. I might take a little side gig, but I will never devote as much energy into something that is not a higher calling in order to try to convince myself that that will enable me to follow my higher calling. It doesn't work, and I'm not going to do that. For me, it might work for some people, but it does not work for me. So this is investing your energy into the things that really matter and really are important. And look what is coming up with writing a gratitude list, which is literally this thing we just talked about in the last position. So when you write a gratitude list this week, I want you to invest more time and energy into your gratitude list than you would into any other activity that's not in alignment with your calling if you're not following your calling. That's my command to you. Go in the direction that you want to go in. And when you write a gratitude list this week, it's attracting abundance to you. Like, I am setting the intention that if you do that, you're literally attracting abundance. So what I'm saying to you is, if you go to work and you get paid $20 an hour, I'm telling you that if you do my gratitude list assignment this week, it will be worth more than $20 an hour to you. You will see more money come to you from some alternate source of income, a bonus, a weird settlement you didn't know, an inheritance. There's so many ways money can come to you. You can literally find it on the street. If you get paid $20 an hour and you put more time into your gratitude, if you're at work writing your gratitude list, I swear to God, you'll find $40 in the parking lot. I swear. That's what I'm telling you. So that's your assignment. Write a gratitude list and focus yourself and your mind and your energy toward your higher calling. That doesn't mean you have to be like shitty to the customers who come into your store, or, like a bad employee and not be helpful to others. It means that when you're at I used to work at Starbucks. When you're at your Starbucks drive-through job, you are not thinking about how to increase Starbucks revenue by getting more of their stickers on all of their freaking get a free coffee things. That's not what you're thinking about when you're there. What you're thinking about there, when you are putting stickers and handing it to people and being polite and being kind and being generous like you always are, when you're doing that job and you're in that place, your mind is occupied with your bigger dream. Your mind is thanking yourself for having a dream and imagining it, and you are in two different places. That's what I mean. Okay? That's how you get out of that position, and that's how you get to a place where you're actually getting to do what you want. I was in 2014. Is that right? I think so, yeah. 2014, I was working at a Starbucks in Massachusetts, and I was able to move to Los Angeles within a few months of starting to do this on a daily basis, where I was envisioning myself being in Los Angeles. And then I was in Los Angeles for 10 years, and I had an awesome time there, so... okay, so that was the masculine energy. For the feminine energy, I think this is so awesome also because of abundance and flow and everything. What should I be investing my energy into to attract abundance? We have, this is the King of Cups, I think. I actually need to check this, but I think because he has a cup here, pretty sure this is the King of Cups. This Ostara Tarot has, that minor issue of not actually saying what the cards are, and then you just have to like guess. I'm pretty sure this is King of Cups. Come on, where are the cups? There we go. Yep. Mastery of emotion, logic, and solutions. Oh, and you know what? I'm gonna read this because we also saw the stag in this other deck, so I'm feeling this stag is an important symbol, and it says, the king shows himself as a stag as he meditates over a large vessel. The King of Cups is the master of emotion and intellect. The king is emotionally invested in each situation, showing love and empathy, all while maintaining the knowledge and logic needed to deal with any given situation. Echo the king. Whilst experiencing difficulty, it is in your best interest to remain calm and take the necessary steps. Find the solution while considering the emotional well-being of yourself and those around you. Okay, so that's what the feminine energy really needs to do. And the self-care activity, remember I told you these two self-care activities, every time you do them, you are investing your energy into attracting abundance every time. So when you hydrate, when you drink, girl, I'm drinking water, I want you to be thinking, I'm worth more than all the money in the world. I'm worth all the money in the world. I'm worth all the money in the world. I want you to envision the water, whatever's flowing into you, whatever you're hydrating your body with. That's how money flows. Money flows like that. Money pours in. Okay? So this visual exercise of money pouring in. And remember, hydrating is something that you need. It's like a part of the only way that you can survive on this planet. And so embracing that abundance, right? Abundance of crops, abundance of love, abundance of, money, if you have to use money in your society to establish trade, whatever it is, it flows like water. So I want you to think of that every time you're drinking. Write a gratitude list and hydrate. All right, last two cards we've got here. Okay, this is crazy. I wanted to pull a spirit animal for you from the Guardian of the Night Tarot, because I love this deck and they kind of combine both spirit animals and tarot energy. And I was shuffling and the Magician fell out, but it came out with a ton of other cards. And I knew the Magician was the right card. But because it came out with so many cards, I have, I kind of have a thing where I'm like, all right, I need you to come out just one or two, not too many. I put it back into the deck. And then I shuffled and I shuffled and I shuffled and I shuffled. And then I chose this card, and this card came out. I didn't see it. I put it here, and then it fell down. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that card actually, it was meant for me. This has come out for me in every reading I have done for the last 3 days, every single reading. Pretty crazy. The Magician. And it's not just this card, but the Magician from any of the decks I've been using. Okay, number 1. This is your advice. This is the animal, the spirit animal that is going to help you this week with your attracting abundance. When it came time to create the illustration for the energy of the Magician, the raccoon came forward very strongly, and I knew that this was the creature who embodies the traits of the Magician. The raccoon moves through the night swiftly and often undetected, but passive animals they are not. Raccoons are resourceful hunters who understand how to use their resources to their fullest. Whether it is climbing a tree for an egg in a nest or unlatching a neighbor's chicken coop, they will act with passion and determination to get what they desire. The Magician energy is one that requires action. It requires work. Like casting a spell, preparation and commitment are required. When the Magician appears, you are asked to take control of the situation, to make clear and conscious decisions that will open the door for the right opportunity that will in turn yield the results you desire. When you pull this card, take a moment to draw in its energy. I find its electricity travels through my hand and into my soul. It is in this moment of connection that you too will find a refreshed sense of enthusiasm, of passion, and as a result, you will feel as though you hold the power of the world in your hands. The raccoon is nimble, focused, clever, has dexterity, determination, and passion. So that raccoon energy, when you see raccoons this week, if you're feeling anxiety, panic, like you need to manifest something, call on a raccoon spirit. Think of those clever raccoons. They are very clever creatures. And in Los Angeles, those shits get so big. When I lived in Toluca, like I was just telling this story last night. One time I was sitting outside of the house. I had a room in someone's house, and my sister and I would hang out late at night, and we're so loud. We're like Italian and like extremely loud, talking, laughing. So we would sit in my car and like smoke and hang out, like green man smoke. I don't do the other kind of smoke, but we would just chill. And this one night we were sitting there talking, and all of a sudden next to the, like, I was looking at her, she's in the passenger seat, and I saw out the window these two huge beasts. And at first I thought they were dogs because they were so big, and then but then I realized they weren't, and so it scared me. I was like, what is that? And my sister turns and she's like, ugh. And then we just see these huge raccoons, and I mean, they were the size of fairly, like, good sized dogs, probably the size of my dog Bowie, like large freaking raccoons. And they walked through my front yard because I was parked in front of the house. Through my front yard, we had a gate that, like a latch gate that you had to open to get into the back. And then in the back, we had fruit trees. And those raccoons went over to the door. One of them took its hand, opened the door, and they both walked in, lumbered in. And then my sister and I were laughing. I was like, oh my God. But I was also like, I can't go back inside. Because, like, my entrance was through the back door. I was like, I can't go in there. Now there's those two huge raccoons out there. And we were, like, screaming and laughing and everything. And then they came back. And they were carrying oranges. Like, they went to the backyard and must have gathered oranges. And then, like, came back. And one of them was, like, carrying the oranges. And the other was opening the door. So raccoons are resourceful, honey. They use their cleverness. They use their dexterity, their opposable thumbs, basically, to be able to manipulate the human world and get the things that they need. And so you want to embody that energy of the magician. Now, this last card is your final advice for the week. This says between worlds. This is from the Wisdom of the Oracle. We've got a flamingo here, if that's important for anyone. And the general meaning associated with this card is transitions, not being quite out of one situation and fully engaged in another, and temporary blindness or no man's land. This feels very, very accurate to me personally for my career in finance, where I'm between worlds. I was just invited to join a platform called Passes, and I'm really excited about it because I think it's going to be the greatest membership program I could provide. The current one that I have, I don't love. I want to make the membership something really, really, really exciting for the people that are involved in it, and something that they want to go and do more than they want to go and do TikTok or Instagram or any of that, because I just feel like a place where there's no advertisements, a place where they can just interact with my content and others who make content like mine without those advertisements and without having to worry about like algorithms and confirmation bias and all that stuff. I think it's a kind of a cool concept. It's like a hip Patreon. Like, Patreon hasn't changed at all in years, in like a decade. And this has built-in live streams. You're going to be able to directly message me. Which means you can send your question to me instead of waiting for me to come live. You can send me a question. I can answer you. So I'm really excited about it, and it's going to be rolling out over the next couple of weeks. And I think that it's really going to help stabilize my income a lot, and help me monetize what I do much more effectively. But it's also going to take time to like get it into that place. So I'm in between right now. I'm still in a place where I'm scared about, I have to pay my car insurance. I have to pay for my car, and I'm having trouble with that. And my, all of these obligations I have, but I know that I can see, right? I can see with my Queen of Swords energy, I can see that I will have more comfort in the future. But this fear of the pain I'm experiencing right now is still kind of lingering, which is why this what would help me believe I'm worth more than all the money in the world, and that I maybe can get some help, is really important for me as a message when I was listening to my ego's listening to this reading with alongside of you. Okay, but the actual prosperity message of this is, in your work, sometimes you try things that have worked for others, hoping that you too will be successful. When this symbol appears, it reminds you that sometimes the path to your prosperity is a gamble. Win or lose, you can learn much from what comes of your wager. It's a good time to bet on your skills and talents in new and different arenas. Remain curious, and with the right combination of timing and luck, you will stumble upon something golden that will be unlike anything you've known before. And listen, if this is happening for me right now, and you're in my collective, I know that this is happening for you in some way too this week, that there is some kind of an offer or something that is going to give you that same relief I felt last night when I was like, okay, TikTok being banned is not going to kill my business. I have a way to sustain my business without social media, and to a certain extent. And also, that all the work that I've been doing, it is paying off. I am seeing that payoff, because I wouldn't have been scouted by the head of talent acquisitions for that company if it weren't for all the work that I talked about that's already there, right? My body, my opus of work was there, and they're able to see what I've already done. And even if it's not lucrative right now, they too could see that potential. They too could see that I will be somebody that they want to invest in. So you might be between worlds, but just know that taking that leap, right, with that Fool card, don't be afraid, because ultimately this is where you're at with this Empress energy. And this is the most abundant card. To me, the Empress is more abundant than the Emperor. The Emperor is able to control abundance and like build upon it, but the Empress just sits in it. She doesn't have to do anything. She just sits in it and receives it. And then if she wants to, she can dip into her Emperor energy and build something from it or not. And that's where you're at right now. So I love that for you. Thanks so much for being here with me this week. I will see you next week for the financial reading. But of course, I will also see those of you who are interested in the Friday love reading tomorrow. I will say that my mother is having major heart surgery tomorrow. It should go well. It is I wouldn't say routine, because it's not something a lot of people have done all the time, but she's having a valve replaced in her heart because she has a heart defect that we didn't know about. So that's taking place tomorrow. Oh, I have emotion coming up. I didn't expect that. I don't know why. Guess I'm scared. Didn't realize. Anyway, so because of that, I think the surgery is between 2 and 8 p.m. tomorrow. It may disrupt my schedule for this weekend. Hopefully everything goes well and you'll see me every day and we'll be fine and everything's fine. But if anything happens, that's where I am. Please pray for her and my family. She's very young and healthy, so she should be good. She's only like 66. She's not very old. So she's healthy otherwise also. So I think she'll be okay, but please pray for her. And if you are in a place where you can contribute or donate in some way or book readings or become a member, your financial support would really go a long way to help me. So take care of some of my issues. So I thank you in advance for all of those who do contribute in some way. And if you can't financially contribute, liking, sharing, subscribing, following is so helpful. And one of the most helpful things is if you have a friend who you know would benefit from working one-on-one with me or receiving a reading from me, sharing something that you know is going to turn into abundance for me is one of the most helpful things that you can do. So thank you so much. I will see you all soon. Take care, everybody. Have a good day.